It was very exciting to be at the ribbon cutting, overwhelming.
Father, we are so thankful to you today, and we give you thanks with all of our heart. You have provided far beyond what we expected or what we even thought was possible.
Well, I was nervous doing it, number one. Secondly, I didn't know there was going to be that many people coming.
That moment, there was a really cool, even just remembering the people up there. There was Don Kraus, who had spent a lot of time. He was up there as you were cutting the ribbon. And all these people, the people who were part of the building committee up there, they'd poured their heart and soul, hours and hours volunteering on this project. Just remember the excitement as you kind of snapped the ribbon, the people cheering.
I thought that was going to be so corny, but it got to doing it and I thought,
yeah, you did not want to do that.
No, it's just goofy.
The sound of a crowd cheering was almost a foreign sound at that point. Church coming together and celebrating a monumental moment.
We never felt worried or nervous because it was God's project from the start. And we always thought, if he wanted it done, it'll get done.
And then on the other side, inside, there's this little noise in my head. What have you started? Here we go, this is real.
Forward in Faith campaign started out in 2016. It ran for 3 years until 2019, and we were able to raise all the funds for that campaign. It ended in a big celebration in November 2019 where the whole church met together in the high school.
So we knew coming into 2021 that we were going to have a mortgage. We thought at that point it was going to be well over $3 million.
So we decided to start the next campaign. We thought COVID was ending. We weren't sure how this was going to affect people's finances, whether they would be able to give, or what was going to happen.
We were scared. We started something in one of the worst times of the year and everything. I got lots of people said, "Are you sure about this?" And I said, boldly, "Of course." And
were you feeling that though?
Oh, I thought, these people have sacrificed and whatever, $9 million or $8 million is put together, and now we're going to ask them for more. You got to shake your head a little bit and say, "God, are you sure?"
I remember when I first saw the number after some gifts had come in over this first year that we owed, I don't know what it was, maybe it's 100,000. I thought it was wrong. I was like, has to be $1 million. He's missed some zeros.
Yes.
We only have 100,000 remaining on the mortgage. And I remember I even called him. I'm like, "Richard, are those numbers correct?" And it hadn't even been a year.
For the city, we called it that because we wanted to make this building an outreach building, something that was not just for us to meet together as, like a club. And then also, it was the global city, God's city, that we're reaching out to. So missions are really important.
If you remember when people started going we opened doors for people and have meetings, and when we were doing the tours, people you hear a lot of that.
Giddy, yeah.
And look at this, what is this going to be?
I remember walking through in those early tours we were doing, and we were showing them that we were excited about the Burke room and the foyer space and that kind of thing, and there's lots of excitement. And then we went downstairs, and Diane really stole the show.
Stole the whole thing.
And we stood around the edges of what was going to become our food pantry. There was a lot of excitement.
It's been a very exciting thing for many people. And God's using that evangelistically.
Yeah.
So that's great.
We had some dreams about what we thought it would be. I don't think we had even close to the vision of what the food pantry and that whole missions wing was going to look like when we started.
Hi, my name is Mary, and I have the privilege of overseeing the pantry here at CA Church. And October marks the 1-year anniversary that we've been open in this new building, and we're currently serving over 200 families. Oh, we have over 60, 70 volunteers that work here every week. They serve as guest hosts, where they walk our guests around to choose their groceries. Some welcome, some are on hospitality, where they serve coffee and tea. Others are on the prayer ministry, where they pray with people. And other people dedicate their time to stocking these shelves. This is the primary way that some of our families get their groceries. Sometimes they don't have money for anything else. It's rent or food. Before we opened here, we were operating out of the foyer in the other building. And I cannot believe what a difference it makes to have all of this space, the shelving, we have storage, we have freezers, we have fridges, and we can collect food and save it for distribution days, and it's just been such a blessing since we were able to open here. You know, recently there's a woman who has been coming here for a while, and she let me know she's going back to work. And that's what we want. We want them to be successful. But what she shared with me is that she didn't believe that she herself would actually be in a food bank line up. But she found it to be such a blessing. She's made friends, and then coming in here and feeling the love and being prayed for. And she's back to work and wants to volunteer here on Saturdays. In many ways, this is the truest expression of the church. We are showing Jesus' love, not only with food, and we're addressing spiritual poverty as much as we are addressing material poverty.
People have talked to me before how churches, they build churches and those kind of things, and it just gives them such power to go forward in their faith. And it's apart from what they're doing. In other words, they're learning good faith lessons, and then appropriating and using those in a regular life.
We entirely paid off our mortgage. And now we're beginning to start on renovations of this, our older facility to make it usable for future ministry for our young people, our middle schoolers, updating the foyer space and bathrooms to make them hospitable. And what an amazing gift to be here at this point in the campaign.
I think that over the time that we've been open, I'm sure we have welcomed thousands of people through that door. And each one of them are smiling and grateful, and we're grateful to serve them.
People have asked us, so what's next? And I go back to one statement that has been used lots. What we do here, we do there.
Yeah.
And what we do there, we do here.
Yeah. And what do? We plant churches. We raise up leaders. We disciple people in the way of Jesus.
It's so exciting that we have this building, this wonderful new building. We've got that, we've done that. Now the hard part begins. Now we've got to do the work.
And we're so full of faith for what God's going to do. We've been able to use the facility over this last year for some amazing ministry, like we talked about, the food pantry, and for Alpha, and for youth ministry, and for young adults, and for all these amazing things that we're doing. But I feel like we're just kind of scratching the tip of the iceberg. That God has so much more to do through CA Church.
Building the building and paying it off, that was actually the easy part. Now the hard work begins.